Well guys, it's a new week, got some new branding down in the channel, about to have a new intro here too, plus we've also got a new product to review. Let's get having a chat about it. Well, what about you everyone? How are you doing? Hope you're all keeping well today. Hope everything is good where you are. If you're quite new to the channel, you're more than welcome. When it comes to my own photography journey, I love all different kinds of photography styles, but the one I've always stuck with over the years is music photography. And I explained in a video a couple of years back about probably the most important piece of equipment that all music photographers should own, and that is earplugs. If you haven't seen that video already, you can hit it in the top right hand corner. But in the video I featured a brand of earplugs that I had been using for that wee while. Got them as a birthday present and they were very good. They were by Flare Audio. And like I say, earplugs are probably the single most important thing you should have as a music photographer. But even outside of being of the music work, earplugs are very important if you're just a general worker in construction or anything like that, because your hearing is, you want to protect that at all cost. If for me, I got to the point where I was going to the gigs at the start and I wasn't wearing ear protection until one day I went to a night out where I was standing right by the guitar amp and I was pretty much hearing the ringing for a whole week. So ever since then, anytime I go to a concert, I always have a pack of earplugs with me. But a couple of weeks back there, I was sent a packet of these guys from Earlabs. Earlabs are a Swedish company who have developed these. This is the dBuds, so I was very excited to get these. I'm very thankful for Earlabs for sending me a copy, plus I'm also very thankful to the gorgeous Andy Tatt, good friend of mine, who got me hooked up to chatting with them. You can check out links to his Instagrams and all that down below. Not that he deserves it or anything. So what makes the dBuds so special compared to any other sort of earplug that are out there? Well, today we're going to talk about the product itself, give you some of the good things, some of the bad things I've come across while having this out and about with me, just give you an overall. Now, like I say, Earlabs were very generous to send me a copy of these. They aren't sponsoring this video and they haven't paid me to do this review. This is just my own overall opinion, but keep to the end of the video because I've got a nice little surprise for you, I have to say. So yeah, Earlabs are a Swedish brand that brought out these dBuds, and all these are is just a pair of really nice and fancy earplugs. But what made them so special compared to your sort of standard, maybe your standard little foam ones that you press in and just push into your ears, is that these have a variable volume adjuster, so they can cut out different sort of decibel ratings. On one side of the switch you can cut out up to about 11 decibels, whereas if you close it down you cut out at least 24 to up to 30 decibels. So depending on what sort of situation you're in, you can maybe find that you maybe don't want to cut out too much, but if it's a really loud concert or anything, you maybe want to cut out a good fair bit. So it's good that it has this adjustable little switch, and all that is, they're actually built into the earplug themselves. It's just a little tiny switch that just goes back and forth, so it opens up what all actually comes into yours and what all is being dampened. So inside the box you get the earplugs themselves, which sit inside the silicone macaron style case. But what I really love about what Earlabs provide is they provide a wide variety of different tips to suit your sort of comfort and what you're maybe used to. You pick both silicone and foam tips, and they go in small, medium and large. So the silicone style is more like if you're used to wearing headphones out and about, whereas the foam is more style for like if you're used to that sort of earpluggy style. It just more sort of suits your own different comfort levels. As I say, the earplugs come in a little case shaped like a little macaron, and they also come with a little little cord to go around your neck, and it's good that it's all provided in there. You don't have to purchase it separately, nice and elasticated. So you get so much in here in such a nice neat little package. Sort of look like earplugs, like little Bluetooth earplugs in a way, and they sort of form quite nicely, so you can see they're designed to sort of form pretty well within the ear. And then you've got the little switch that is just there, so when it's closed over like so, it's cutting out at least 24 decibels. If I flick it over, it's cutting out at least 11. So it's just a matter of just little slide along with the finger as you go. But yeah, you get the little cord in there, so that way the earplugs sit nice around the neck. What I do love is that these earplugs are magnetic, so when you're walking about the place, they just sort of click in like so, and boom, you can just sort of keep them in nice and close, nice and neat, nice and tidy. And then whenever you want to start using them, just into the ear like so, boom, there you are. And they're nice and neat to tuck away, you know, they don't stick out or anything. They form nicely within the ear. The cord isn't too big and bulky. It's nice and neat. You can take the cord off if you want to, if you don't like it, but I prefer to have it on myself because, you know, maybe after a band is played, I'll just take out my earplugs. I've decided to go for the silicone style because I've been used to the foam for so long, but I just find that they're not as good in the ears. They just dry up over time. Whereas the silicone, I feel, works a lot longer and it's a lot more comfortable, I have to say. I'm not a fan of the foam tips that come with these, but you know, that's just me personally. I don't find that the foam fits into the ear better, whereas the silicone is so much nicer. It's so much more comfortable. I have opted for, I've got quite weird ears, so try not to judge me too much. I've opted for a medium tip on my right ear, and I've opted for a small tip on the left ear. So really nice comfort level in here. So let's pop them back in. Yeah, nice and easy. Nice and compact, fits very well, and even right now it's cutting out quite a good fair bit. It's certainly dampening the sound a good fair bit around me. Now you're probably wondering, yeah, you're talking about music photography and gigs and all, but there's been a global situation going on. How have you been able to get out and test these out? And yeah, that's probably the biggest challenge that I have had while having these, is that I can't test them in the environment that I've been really wanting to. However, I've been able to work around that, so I actually took these out with me a couple of times whenever I go out on my daily walk, just to hear what it's like whenever I'm walking around, because again, they look like Bluetooth earplugs, so nobody is really going to think I'm weird for wearing earplugs whenever I'm walking around. They just look like Bluetooth earphones. So when I'm walking around, like say today even, I took a walk down just to the local Tesco's, and as I was walking down, I kept the volume open. I could still hear a lot of different things around me, but things were a lot more dampened. Like throughout the night, it had rained, so whenever you hear the cars going past, you can hear the sort of splashy of the rain on the roads. So I could still hear quite a lot of things, but those sort of little rumbles that come from cars or anything like that were sort of a little bit more dampened. I could still get the sharpness from the tires against all the water on the road, but it was a little bit more nicer on the ears. Everything wasn't as open. It was just that little bit more dampened. After I did my Tesco shop, I decided to close over, so this is where I was cutting out at least 24 decibels. I closed over the earphones, and my God, what a difference it makes. There was a lot of times where I couldn't even tell there was a car coming towards me. The only thing that was giving it away was I could just hear the tires against the water on the road. See, if there wasn't any of the water on the road, I probably couldn't tell there was a car coming towards me. But a lot of that sort of excess hum and bass was really dampened. In fact, there was even at one point an aeroplane was flying over me, and I didn't even notice it until it was like literally over my head. It had, you know, the closed over has fairly cut out a lot of that sort of really excess hum and deepness and bass that, you know, might really affect your ears a good fair bit. So this is why I'm saying, not even just for the music photography, but if you're like a construction worker or you want to cut out noise in the office or anything like that, at least you've got the options to say if you want to cut out more or less. That's what I really like about these earplugs. But I also just wanted to simulate, I have actually tested these in my house whenever I've been playing guitar, so I just want to do a quick example here of what it was like whenever I've played the guitar. So yeah, a nice little mini concert from me. So this is first of all just testing these without the earplugs in. So yeah, I'm getting all the true natural sounds that would be coming out of the amp straight into my ears there. I mean, the amp is just sitting right beside me, and it's not relatively loud. It's a 50 watt amp, but I've got it cut off at 25 watt, but I generally have quite a high distorted sound that's quite trebly, so yeah, getting a lot of that there. So let's try these out with the earplugs in, but with the volume adjuster off. Earplugs in, volume adjuster off. So yeah, it's fairly dampened out that sound a good fair bit, not getting as much of the harshness there. It's still a little bit on the muddy side within my ears, but a lot of that sort of excess harshness has really been cut out. So yeah, it's certainly helped a good little bit. So let's try this with the volume limiter on. So this is with the volume limiter on. So yeah, with the volume limiter on, all I'm getting is just a little bit of the tin that's coming from the amp, but a lot of the bass and mid has really been dampened down. What a difference it has made. Like when the volume limiter was off, I could, it certainly dampened that sound. It's a lot more easier on the ears, but my God, even at just such a low volume and not that big of a high gain or anything, it's fairly what a difference the volume limiter has made. It's fairly helped reduce that sound just coming to my ears. Wow, what a difference. Also, R.I.P. Eddie Van Halen. So if that's what these earphones can do whenever I am walking about or just playing guitar in the room, I'm really interested to see what these would be like whenever I go out to a concert. They fairly cut out and dampen out a good lot of that sort of noise that really irritates my ears. That being said, as great as these earplugs are, there is some things that I would probably change or I'm not really a big fan of. First and foremost, the one thing I really don't like about these is the little case. I just, I love how it's made, it's very durable, but it's just too fiddly getting in and out, I have to say. Plus, I would have liked to have probably had like a zip here, so that way no moisture or dust or anything is getting in there. And it just keeps it all nicely closed over. So yeah, maybe something a little bit harder too, a bit more durable. But yeah, you could probably change up this case. But to me, I'm not a big fan. But another thing that I might also change in maybe another edition of these headphones is I was having difficulty with opening and closing of the volume adjuster. I just think that, like, whenever it's in the ears and I slide along, I'm fairly pushing the earplugs into my ear whenever I'm doing it. Whereas when I have to take them out and slide them out, I just think that maybe a very, very, very slight raise to the volume adjuster would just be able to grip that a lot better. Whereas see, when you don't have them in your ears, it's actually a lot more smoother to adjust the volume as you go along. But yeah, I just think maybe a slight raise to the volume adjuster would just be quite nice. And as I've mentioned already, I'm not that big a fan of the foam tips that come with it, but if you're used to that sort of foam style, certainly use them. But it's good that Earlabs give you the option, the best of both worlds. I find the silicone to be a lot more comfortable, but it's good to have the different options available for you. Plus, over the years of using foam earplugs, I find that they don't last as long. You can't really reuse them as well, whereas the silicone is much more better for reusability because they're much more handier to clean up. Like for me, if I have quite mucky ears, quite easy to clean up here and there. So yeah, if you really want comfort and longevity, I probably would recommend the silicone style, but it's entirely up to yourself. Price wise, on their web store, you're talking €49, which is about £45. So I know that probably sounds a little expensive, but you can't put a price on your hearing. You should be protected at all costs, not just at a gig, but if you're at a construction worker in the office, you should always be thinking about your hearing and, cutting out any of that sort of excess that you probably might find is really starting to do damage in your hearing over the years. Like we've seen a lot of musicians that complain about losing their hearing and tinnitus and all, so they're worth spending. Plus as well, this is what I really wanted to get to for you guys. If you really want to get a set of these, I have a discount code for you that you can get 15% off via Earlabs web store. So that is dBud Protection 2020. So again, you could only use this on the Earlabs store. I'm going to put all the links down below, but hey, 15% off for these really amazing set of earplugs. Very thankful that Earlabs were very able to provide that for you guys. So yeah, get using away, get that discount while you're in. So what do you think? Have you used any of these earplugs before, or is there a certain earplug that you like to use overall? Well, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know some of your thoughts, and also don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, hit that wee bell icon so that you can stay up to date with future videos. But until then guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Who said that?